Hold on. There's some. Are you guys seeing me? I don't know why it cut off. So I don't know. For some reason, it said I wasn't able to do the video, so I'm kind of hoping that it's still on, just not 100%. If anyone, if you're there, just go ahead and type something so that I know that I'm actually on. Hi, Teal Empress. Oh, I'm like, is it working? Because it actually clicked on. It was like, oh, hit finish or hit try again. And I'm like, what just happened? My puppy's in the background. She's just laying on my bed. So, um, gonna try and continue, even though that kind of threw me off a little bit. Um, for soulmates, for me, I see them as, hi, honey. My husband's a moderator for me tonight. So, for soulmates, for me, I view them as not just a love partnership. I view them as also friends, family, and anyone who I really kind of like, basically, kind of almost have to work with, kind of associate with. But it's mostly just friends and family, and then there's soul family members. And I have one soul family member that I'm really close to, Dana, who is absolutely, hey, hon. She's another moderator of ours. So, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask me so I can kind of bounce back and forth with you guys and see exactly what else I can tell you. Um, in readings, I tend to try. Hey, Melis. I'm like, I can't see that small. But, anyways, in readings, I try and pick up on kind of what energy I'm getting off of the cards as well to define what kind of like energy I'm getting if I get a soulmate energy. And it usually comes from the image because of how I read intuitively. Whatever sticks out the most to me kind of has a symbology to me as to how I determine what kind of it is. And then twin flames, for those relationships. Hey, Libra Zebra. I love your name. um, for twin flame relationships, those I'm not like the most well versed in. I have learned a lot, but there is a lot of confusing factors out there on YouTube. You're very welcome. There's a lot of confusing factors out there on YouTube that kind of bounce back and forth and kind of awesome too. I'm like, maybe I should be asking you. But they bounce back and forth between like a lot of different topics, but the most consistent is how the connection goes from like a spiritual base down into kind of like a normal, and that it's not really your normal everyday type of love relationship, and that it is a stronger bond because you automatically feel it that much closer. And it's kind of like, even if you're meeting this first person for the first time, I feel like it's like, okay, well, you already know them, and some of you guys have like a telepathic bond. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm not doing any readings tonight except for at the end for like a general reading for everybody. Right now, I'm talking about a couple topics and whatever else you guys want to talk about. Um, my husband and I, we've been in a very deep, committed soulmate relationship, and it's been absolutely wonderful. This year will be actually 20 years for me. I've never been in a relationship that long in my entire life, and it's been absolutely one amazing ride. So, because he and I, we've been together since my oldest was about 1 month old. Well, 3 weeks old technically. But we've known each other and dated on and off since we were 15. So we were basically high school sweethearts back then. I'm like, I need a drink. So I'm like, what else can I say? The other thing with twin flames, like, it's the most uncanny relationship I've ever heard people describe, and it's very like interesting, and it's for me it's very intriguing. And I when I first started my journey about 7 years ago, I kind of just stumbled upon videos, and then like I just researched from there, and like it's like the second you hear about that type of relationship, it's like, wait, what? And when you start like looking into it, there's so much. It's like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and it's like a never-ending story type of concept to me, which is very interesting. So there is one twin flame relationship channel that I found way back in the very beginning. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Then even more layers, huh? I think it's Golden Ray Twin Flames or something. I'll have to find him because he's in my subscription. He's this really old dude, but he's cool as hell. And he sits there and he'll talk for like 45 minutes to an hour in one video on nothing but twin flame topics and the connections, and he'll explain in detail. Like I get lost and I'm like, okay. But he explains like the most intimate details of everything about like even his like how his wife and his connection are, and like he's like really really well versed, and like he's the only one I've found. Hi Joseph. He's the only one I found on YouTube that actually can hold my attention long enough to sit there for a 45-minute video listening to him like talk about twin flames and the connections. And then there's like a whole lot of other stuff. Like he doesn't really upload a whole lot, but it's worth going back through his videos from the past and actually seeing what he said. But like I said, I haven't seen him in a long time on here. Like what else? Oh, interesting fact for soulmates. Sorry, kind of ADD. if if you have young children, like just young children or just children in general, you can technically walk up to them and ask them, did you choose me or did I choose you? Now, whatever pops out of their mouth is exactly how your soulmate connection kind of went before you kind of came into this lifetime. And I did the experiment with my two kids. Now, my oldest, her first reaction was, you chose me. My youngest was completely different. She said, I chose you, which shocked the hell out of me because I was not expecting that reaction out of her. But she just, off the bat, she was about like 4 or 5 years old, and she was like, I chose you. And it was the cutest thing. But my oldest seemed kind of perplexed. She was like, no, you chose me. And I was just like, okay, cool. But that's technically kind of like an interesting way to figure out how you guys kind of came into this lifetime and what kind of a role you guys had for an agreement when you came in, if that makes sense. And if you try that, let me know how that went. Hey guys. But yeah, it was very interesting. But I learned that I forget who actually said that in a video, but I learned about that years ago as well when I first started. So it was just really, really, actually no, my daughter was older than 4 or 5. I'm sorry. She was about like, oh, when was this? My dad passed in 12, so it was older than that. So yeah, she was like around 12, 13. Sorry. I was thinking of something totally different from when she was younger. And I don't even know why. I'm like, but yeah, regardless of the age factor, if you ask your children that, they can give you an answer right off the bat. Just don't give them time to think. Just listen to their first answer and that'll be it. I'm not doing any readings right now, not till the end for everybody, one general reading. I'm just chit-chatting with you guys. So if you guys have like any topics you want to ask me about myself, about any other spiritual type of topics, I can try and do my best to answer those as well. Yeah. I definitely do. I find that to be a necessity for me with grounding myself before I do any kind of spiritual based work with my readings. And I use my singing bowl between each one. to just clear out everything for me. So I have tons of crystals. A lot of those help me as well, especially during the reading. Sometimes like I'll have like one either sitting like directly next to me, or I have this giant 10-piece one over here. I'll actually show that another time. Hey, Ambelina. I'll show that another time because it's a big, huge 10-pound desert rose selenite. But yeah, like the thing is massive. It's like literally my biggest piece. The funny thing is, I've seen those things go for, thank you. I've seen that type of piece and that weight go for like $200-300 easy on eBay. You're never gonna believe how much I paid for this a couple years ago. I paid $35 on eBay, and I was like in shock. Like I legit kid you not, I went looking for like a whole bunch of crystals the first time I started really getting into them. And I should have bought the other one because the other one that the person had, same seller, had it for $50. Same weight, same size. But this one's in kind of like the shape of a heart almost. Thank you, Simply Spiritual. I love you too. What else? I did sell one of my other bigger crystals recently, but that's because like I've had it for so long and I didn't kind of really feel that it was like something that I really needed anymore. So I kind of sold it, but it's not hard to get them. I mean, eBay's like, if you look around eBay thoroughly enough, you will come across the craziest things because some people just don't know what exactly they have. Thank you. I'm like, wait, let me, because I missed a comment and it's not going to let me do it. Okay. Crystal grits. Yes. You can actually get a mat, or like they have like the metal tree of life or flower of life grids, and you can set crystal points, like clear crystal points up on that. And then when you like I'll make a video on this as to how I make my crystal grids, but when you set them up in a circle, okay, you can have one pillar in the center as your generator, and then you take an extra piece of crystal or selenite or whatever it is you feel drawn to take, and you connect each crystal kind of like energetically, like with an invisible line, and go around the grid like that to connect everything until you come back around to the first one, and that'll activate your grid. Hibiscus Moon has quite a few videos on that. I don't know if you guys ever have checked out our channel, but that's how I learned about that and a lot of my other crystals, as well as researching it. And the crystal grid, you can look up different ones for home, for self, all kinds of things. Whatever intention you want to put into that crystal grid while you're connecting them to the main pillar, that is your intention, and that is what you use for your affirmation and your intention for that crystal grid to be activated with. Yes, anchoring. Like what else? One of my favorite crystals to work with though is my black obsidian and my spirit quartz. Those seem to be like my two favorite. And then the Lemurian lithium. This thing packs a frickin' punch when you get it, I promise you. How do you toy? You can meditate with it, or the grid is actually activated in your home or wherever it is that yes, honey, the big black ball of doom. What sign am I? Let me finish up with what I was saying. The Lemurian lithium crystals, these have a very, very high vibration, and a lot of them have etchings, which it's probably not going to pick it up. Like, yeah, you see some of these etchings right here? You want to make sure it has these type of etchings in it. And these are like record keepers, especially if you find the little notches in them and you meditate with those. And some people actually have kind of downloads that they get from them. There's a lot behind it. And then I have a moldavite piece on my necklace. This little thing, when I got it, like I literally searched for the past 5 years to find a legit buyer. And like the first time I held it, it was like, whoa. Like, and it's just a tiny chip. It's okay. Better late than never. My sign, though, just to answer that really quickly, I am a Scorpio sun sign with a Sagittarius rising, a Taurus moon, and for my Virgo, or Virgo, yeah, my Venus is in Virgo. Yes, that is completely normal. When I first started meditating, I did cry at least twice, especially when I had my black obsidian, because that brings up any deep emotional issues that need to be released at that time. And I wasn't even sad. I just went into meditation relaxed. Awesome. Yes, they do use lithium in medicine, but it's two different things. Oh, okay. I'm just like, I wish that I could make the comments stay out more because like they disappear as soon as I try. So I'm gonna try and get a laptop so I can try and see if I can work with that easier. Um, I find rose quartz helps with it a little bit, but there's really not one that I've really found to work with it very much. I can research it and then I can do another video on it. Like next weekend's chat, I can research all those crystals for you and come back and we can talk about crystals next weekend for the next live. Oh, thank you, John. Oh, that's awesome. What's mean karma really? What do you mean by what's mean karma relationship? The meaning of a karmic relationship is one that if that's what you're asking me, a karmic relationship is one that is divinely kind of premeditated before you come in, and it's also to help you learn karmic lessons. But yeah, karmic relationships, most soulmates are karmic relationships regardless, I find. But they are technically your lesson. Like there's two different types of soulmates. There's like, and I forgot the second type, but the one main type that I keep talking about is the growth one, where you build on having more soulmates over time because there's never just one person for you. Yes, there is one at like once you've, gone through enough of them. Black quartz. That's usually kind of a rutilated, and I'd have to research that because I've never seen black quartz. I've got smoky quartz, but that's generally like a black or brown. Yes, I do believe in twin flames. It's okay. It's okay, Zoe. It's really okay. Um, it depends on how your relationship started to know for sure. No problem. Um, Usually, like if you look up the signs, I didn't memorize the signs from Ralph Smart. I really haven't. And like there's like so many signs. There's inner knowing, there's I've met you before. It kind of almost mirrors the same as a soulmate would, but there's a deeper connection feeling. Am I a twin? Maybe. I don't really know if I've met mine. I don't think so. My husband is basically a very important soulmate of mine to me because his and my relationship didn't start as like a spiritual based one, but we were also a lot younger, and this was way before I ever knew about the twin flame concept. So for me, it's always been hard, and not one reader can like sit there and say for sure sometimes if that is an actual twin flame. But if you feel that in your heart, then that's what it is. I can get the energy type, but they could also be a catalyst. My key motivator to start my videos. For me, I've been doing readings for like 7 years up until about August, and I figured I have almost 200 decks. I need to start putting my money where my mouth is, basically. But I love giving readings because I don't know. I absolutely love doing it. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world to do. I can never get bored with it. Thanks, honey. Really. Yes, that's another thing, Teal Empress. When you meet them, it can trigger your awakening too, as well. It definitely can trigger your awakening. Um, no problem, Joseph. Thank you. I I am still very nervous when I do them because recording has never been like my forte. I kind of just push myself. Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. With the name that you wanted to give one of your kids. For me with my readings, like I chose Oracle more so over Tarot, even though I know both pretty decently. I like the Oracle cards because I'm an intuitive reader and I love art. Like I'm just like, ooh, pretty shiny ADD art. That type of thing. And that's kind of what helps me to read intuitively. And I generally go by the first feeling that I get as soon as I see the card when I start talking. And then it just kind of like flows from there. A lot of the time, I don't even remember what I'm saying because I just kind of go into a zone. Um, when you watch readings based on your zodiac signs, one will resonate more than the other. A lot of the times, my rising sign resonates more. I'm just like, it won't let me do the comment thing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like great now. I'm giggling. I get nervous, so that's why I kind of like laugh a lot. Plus, I like to be funny, and I would rather make it more of an enjoyable experience for everyone, and to kind of like share in that to kind of share in like the basically I would rather be more human with you guys and kind of like connect more with you. Like that's my goal, is to connect more with you guys and to kind of help you guys as much as I possibly can. Because you got thanks. Thank you, Amberlina. Um for me, you guys have done so much and you don't even know how much you guys have done for me with some of your comments. Like literally, I was gonna go and do like my shout out photos this month, and there have been so many amazing comments that I'm just like, I'll just say thank you in the video and call it a day. With your third eye, how will you know if it's activated? You'll feel more in here when you have kind of like daydreams. And for me, I kind of get when like I know mine is hard to explain. When I know something is meant for me and as a message, I get it in here and here. And I tend to focus, but I get this kind of like weird sensation. It's hard to explain. It's the only thing that I can explain it as is kind of as if you've ever smoked weed and gotten high or done like some really strong medication, like pain medication. That kind of a high-ish feeling is the only thing I can like associate with that, because you get like a pressure around here is what I get. But it's more so in the front and on my temples where the ear chakras are technically supposed to be for clairaudience. And a lot of my intuitiveness comes from an inner knowing. Like that's why it's so hard for me to explain. That means your crown chakra was opening. Whenever you feel like sensation in here, your crown chakra is open or opening more so that you can channel through the divine messages that you're getting, or whatever the white light that you're pulling in. I'm like trying to understand. Everyone is very intuitive. You just gotta focus on one area and see where that goes. It comes in spurts, yeah. Everyone does that. Yes. There was one instance when I first opened up, when I went into a restaurant with my husband, and he'll probably remember this, when we went into Five Guys after a movie. I felt like I couldn't breathe, like I had to leave the restaurant. I just couldn't go in there. And I normally never have a problem. It's fine. Meditation just increases the effect. That's all, Kiza. Um, what I do is I sit with myself. I kind of meditate a little bit, and I use my singing bowl to open up, and then I sit there with my cards in my hand, and I put my intentions for the reading to set them. I ask for my angels to step in and to surround me with protection, especially Archangel Michael, and to also use me as a clear channel to give the messages that are most needed to come through at that time. And it works for me. There's been times where I've had like almost like visions when I go in, when I'm sitting there just waiting and doing, my little bit of meditation and saying what I want to happen with the readings and putting the question out there for what the reading's supposed to be about to get the proper guidance. It's never the same when I go in. I always kind of switch it up. I just do whatever I feel intuitively at that time and what I feel is like necessary for me. And that's what gets me through. But I like the variety of it. I don't like doing the same thing over and over because it gets boring and it usually doesn't work sometimes. Hang on, Ambelina. I'm going to have to go back. How do I deal with it? Yeah. One second, Chelsea. How do I deal with that? I don't generally have many episodes like that much anymore. Um, when I do get them, I take a deep breath and I go and sit down somewhere and I take a minute to center myself, because if I don't, I can't handle the energy, and then I take a minute to shield myself with that, and then I'm usually pretty fine. Yes. Going with the flow is usually what's best. At least that's what works for me. Everybody else is different. Some people have routines. I go with whatever I feel is necessary in the flow. It doesn't have to be all that like intricate. It's simple as best. See you later, Teal. Thank you for coming out, though. I really, really appreciate it. What else? Let's see here. Let's see. Chelsea, I'm gonna do an overall reading at the end, so maybe that'll help you with some guidance with that, okay? Um, I always ask for like abundance and bliss to come in for you guys every time I do my readings. That is one thing I always do. You just have to kind of like sit back just a little bit and kind of relax. Don't like try and slouch over too much, because that can tighten the chest. I find like if I can't breathe, I need to sit back and just really kind of relax myself and then focus on my breathing. My biggest struggle is when someone gives me a kind of a critiquing comment, like in the very beginning, I got a few of those. I am a really, really bad perfectionist. Like if you tell me one little thing, that's a wrap. I go on a cycle and I'm just like, I start ripping up everything and starting from scratch and seeing where I can fix things. But I also go back and look and see where everything was and take a look at it from a different perspective so that I'm not so judgmental on myself while I've been doing this. And then coming on camera has been another big struggle for me because I'm not the like most kind of like relaxed person on camera. Like for me, talking to you like this is fine. If I'm in front of a camera with it just rolling, forget it. I'm like, so that's about the only struggles I've really seen. And then sometimes I still have a bit of a speech impediment and sometimes issues with my actual reading of the cards. I get stuck sometimes because reading in public is always been not the best for me. But I do what I can. My dog is just chilling back there. I'm like, must be nice. I am not sure, Chelsea. I mean, I really couldn't tell you what that would be. But I would say kind of trying to stay more to yourself and just try and be as nice and polite as possible. And maybe they'll leave you alone after a bit. I'm not sure what I can tell you with that. Thank you. I try and be as genuine as I possibly can be because I don't like trying to be something that I'm not. Okay. That's kind of the Taurus energy in me. When someone says something that they're just sharing, I kind of find a misfix it kind of thing because it's just a habit. I do have one thing that I want to ask. If I were to set up a PO box and you guys wanted to send like little things in, if you wanted to, or letters, you can do that when I do set it up. And I will use whatever you send me. Like if it's like little items like the crystals, it doesn't have to be crystals. It could be little charms, plastic pieces, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it's not like gonna disintegrate in like a couple of days in a post office box. We're good. um Charms, whatever you want. Letters, you can send me letters and I will kind of read them. And if you want me to read it during a live chat and give you a shout out, I will. My favorite readings to do. Let's see. I'll answer that and then I'll get back to what I was talking about in a second. My favorite readings to actually do are kind of the ascension ones, I feel. More so than love. I do like doing the love based ones, but I like doing life path and ascension for some reason lately, like really strongly. Um, so with the post office box, like yeah, like little things, and then I'll put it in the video and use it as a pick a card item, and I will give you a shout out in that video and put your name down below as well in the description box for the shout out and a big thank you. Because I'm kind of running out of objects to use instead of, and like kind of reusing the same ones over and over here and there. And I'm just like, what else can I buy? And I've been looking at a whole lot of stuff and I'm just like, okay, well, I'll put that on the list. Whenever I get pays, my paychecks, I usually try and find some stuff to like grab up, like crystals and all different kinds of things. Good morning. It's actually evening here, but awesome. I will definitely make a post office box, and I will, as soon as that's done, I will put it in the description box for you guys. Oh, sweet. I just did like the pendulum thing in one of my previous readings. I think it was like the one before the like it was like the second one down in there. And I had mentioned Stargirl had actually came up with that idea. I would rather inspire people to keep going, and I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm giving you exactly what I'm getting. I just put it in a nicer tone because I know that I can be pretty harsh when I speak. I love Himalayan salt lamps, and yes, they do because they also actually help clean your air in your room wherever they are, and they are very relaxing to look at too, especially the light up ones. My daughter has one in her room that lights up that she absolutely loves, and then I have a cup, like I think like 3 or 4 salt uh candle holder, like Himalayan salt candle holders. Yeah, I love Stargirl. Like I think I've been watching her for almost 2 years now since I found her. She's like so gorgeous. Like seriously, like she's super pretty, and I love her energy. Yes, Chelsea, what do you got to say, honey? I'm just, am I missing it? Oh, you got to try something. You said. My bad. Um, what else was I gonna say? That's awesome. That is so awesome. I love her ideas. Although sometimes when she puts videos up, she'll like I'll catch it and I'll watch it and then she'll like delete it, and I'm like, why you deleted it? It was great. Like she had a Cardi B star celebrity reading and she was on point. Like really on point with her, and I'm just like, why did you delete that? If you said it was for entertainment purposes, it was wonderful, but whatever. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm like, who else? Like, trying to think of what else. Thank you, Kiza. It can, but it's the not enough focus is overthinking for you, is what I get. But it can lead into the anxiety and the worry. But that's what causes the overthinking, and it's a cycle. Um, the other thing I find interesting lately on here, what got me into, I've actually been into reading since I was a kid, but what propelled it 7 years ago was when my dad passed. I kind of went looking for meditation and hey Shelly, I kind of went looking for meditations and it kind of like it popped up in my suggestion feeds for tarot readings. I was like, seriously? Because the thought didn't cross my mind to actually watch it. Plus, I wasn't watching a whole lot of YouTube back then either. And as soon as I found tarot readings and oracle card readings, it was like I was hooked, like legit hooked. Like my husband can attest to that. Like I kind of went deck crazy and crystal crazy. It, hey, Healing Springs. Um, it spiraled from meditation to that and like learning everything I possibly could about spirituality because I kept seeing the numbers as well and trying to figure out the meanings behind them. And like I've done a lot of research with that. Yeah, that's definitely flipping a table. I went through a lot of that myself, especially in the beginning. Um, like what else? I was gonna say something. I totally forgot what it was. uh, let's see. The other thing I was gonna talk about was the influx of male readers on YouTube. That's been a trip for me. Like there wasn't a whole lot back in the day. There really wasn't, and now it's like there's about maybe 5 or 6 male tarot readers that I actually watch. That I actually kind of like some of their readings, but some of them I can take it or leave it, really. Predominantly, though, I started with oracle card readings more than tarot, and then kind of tarot blew up. out of nowhere as well. I noticed like there's like I always see a change here and there each year as time passes every time I watch these videos. Yeah, I find that a lot with the pick a card readings. Although I do notice though there aren't really many ascension readings much besides mine anymore. Like I see a ton of love and some financial, but not too many life path ones. There's some, but not a whole lot that I'd actually be interested in watching sometimes. And then there's sometimes where I'll click on them just to see what's up because I like their thumbnail or whatever. And I'm like, I'll check it out. It's just okay. Some of it resonates, some of it doesn't. But it's general. So it is what it is. I take what I get when I watch them. I think I've seen Crystal, I'll have to check my stuff. But the name sounds familiar for watching her. I started watching the Gem Goddess recently. She's pretty cute. I like some of her readings. Definitely. She has some pretty good ones. I like her crystals too. Um, how much do you guys watch Victor Odo and like Ryan Cropper? Do you guys get into his videos at all? I've never heard of Marion Lemos, so I'll definitely have to check them out too. Um, I do this basically in my spare time when I'm at home. I do have a full-time 5 day a week job. I work in a hospital. Right now, I'm a PCA where I do patient care, but I'm on a labor and delivery unit, and I get to help my nurses kind of do what they got to do. I help set up in the ORs for when we have emergency C-sections because I'm in the evenings. And when I started there, I started off as a surgical technician where I didn't need to be certified just yet. And then New York State law came in and said, you have to be certified. So I stepped back and said, I'll just do PCA. Because getting into the program up here is a long wait. And I'm just like, I wouldn't make it. I'd have ended up losing my job if I signed a 2-year contract with the main OR if I wanted to stay a surgical tech. But I've done quite a lot of C-sections in my day. And it was like for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, I was a surgical technician with them. And it was amazing. I like it. Some people don't, but I I love helping people, and getting into the medical field was kind of a big push for me. Yeah, Victor helped me wake up quite a bit too. Ralph's smart as well. But Ryan Cropper really cinched it for me about like a year and a half ago when I found his channel. He's got some really eye-opening stuff. Like he's on par with Ralph Smart, just not as flamboyant. I am actually myself as well. My oldest is a C-section baby as well. She was an emergency C-section for me. My youngest was a VBAC. No problem. Anything you guys want to ask me, I have no problem with sharing stuff. My youngest was a VBAC. I was a scheduled section for her, but when I went to have her, like the morning I went to have her, I was full scale labor, 5 centimeters dilated when I got there. And she had flipped because the only reason we were having a C-section planned was because she was breached the whole pregnancy. So because she flipped, I was able to do a vaginal birth after cesarean, which was pretty cool, pretty fast. Shocked the heck out of me. So I guess I got the best of both worlds with trying each one. I'm like, it's not giving me the rest of my comments. Thank you, Healing Springs. I try. Like, what else? Oh yeah, I did try and get my daughter in a couple of times because she's kind of interested, but she's actually going to be starting her own channel soon. She's probably going to kill me for talking about it, but she's a video gamer. She's always been that way. Yes, they definitely are. Being on my unit, I've made quite a lot of connections with my patients, especially a few recently that were pretty awesome. So, but yeah, my daughter's probably gonna kill me for mentioning that she's gonna start YouTube soon. This is seriously the most she's been quiet from me on a live. She plays Blade and Soul at the moment. Yes, if you guys want to hit the like button, share it out, do whatever you want. Go ahead, hit the like button for me if you want. I really don't kind of tend to like asking people to do that. I mean, like, if you want to do it, by all means, knock yourselves out. So, if it helps, then yeah, sure. What else was I gonna say? Hi, Amber. Yeah, she does a lot of MMOs. Like, what else? She likes horror games. She loves horror movies. So, she's like, my kids have both been playing video games since they were like 5 months old, both of them. Like, we kind of raised them on it, my husband and I. We actually took PlayStation controllers when my oldest daughter was 5 months old and took the cords and stuff out of it and handed it to her, and she would sit there and play with us when we would play Tekken and stuff. And she's been hooked ever since. I'm like, what else? No problem, Simply Spiritual. Have a good night. And thank you for coming into my live. I really appreciate it. I'll probably get going myself soon. Definitely ironic. Definitely ironic with that. I've never tried the Twin Saga thing. I've done a little League of Legends. I'm okay with it, but I'm just like meh. And I tried Blade and Soul for a little bit, but I'm more the kind of PlayStation 4 fighting game type and like Just Dance type of games if I play those with people. And Mario Party. That is like my favorite. And Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's I was legit on that game for almost 16 hours straight one night. Soul Calibur. I love Soul Calibur. I've played Soul Calibur with my husband since we were 15 when the first one came out. And then there was another one that he and I liked, and I can't think of the name of it again, and he's probably gonna kill me. Yeah, when it was Soul Edge. Oh, sweet, honey. What was that game that we were talking about earlier that I can't think of it? Um, with the song that we were talking about that I liked. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't think. That was on the Super Nintendo and the 64. N- yeah. No, I don't think. No, it wasn't Bloody Roar. I was talking about um something else. Yeah, Killer Instinct. I'm like, Star Fox. That was his game. That was one of his favorites. Like him and his friends used. We did Shinobi, I think, like once. Him and his friends used to play around doing like the Star Fox thing in like formation when they would walk on the street, from what I've heard. Thank you. I always try and be as very relaxed as I can because if I don't, I get so nervous and I'm like, I can't film and I get frustrated. Yeah, people get a little bit deck shocked when they see all that. Yeah, there's back there, all over here, down there. I've actually got anime books down there. I've got um some actual like oracle books that are like bibliomancy. Let me see if I can grab one out. All right, I've got about three of them, and I actually started with these when I first started my videos. I started doing these, and hang on one second. I want to see what you guys are saying. Can you get a walkthrough? I will do a room tour as soon as I'm done fixing it up because I'm changing it right now for like this month for the February stuff. But these two books are actually kind of like a set, and I found them on accident. Like this one I've had for years, and this one I just got because I found it on Amazon. I will definitely do a deck tour over the next few days. I'll do it. Like maybe I'll do a deck tour thing tomorrow because I should be done with finishing up decorating everything, and I'll do like a room space tour for everybody. And I'll think maybe I'll do it as a live tomorrow. As soon as I'm done decorating, I will do a live and we'll do like a mini room tour with the room. How's that? You guys want to do that tomorrow with me? Come chill again for a little bit? Yes, I do actually. I've got almost every single Dorian Virtue deck that has actually come out. Let's see. Yeah, see? I generally have them organized a little bit more by author, but I gotta kind of organize because I kind of went through my decks using them all and just putting them back. I have a almost all the Lucy Cavendishes that I could actually find and get my hands on. Not yet. I thought about it, but not yet. The Oracle books, I'll get some links later on Amazon, and I will put them in the description either later or tomorrow with that description so you guys can go check them out. Sorry, I'm just reading a comment. Usually when you start out, everything does feel weird. It takes a little bit to get into the swing of things, and you will have your lulls where you feel pretty low, and that's right about when you're going to have a peak. Spiritual Goddess, if you're able to go back through, I have a couple of Ascension Life Path readings, especially with the Revealing Your Truest Self. Start with that one, and then the Ascension Life Path. Revealing Your Ascension Life Path, and then there's another Life Path one. All three of those, I talk about the whole spirituality thing and going through like lulls and stuff with the different pick of cards in that one. Spiritual Goddess, in my videos, if you go back through, there's a couple on the spiritual awakening process, like the Life Path ones with the pick of cards. And I talk a lot about that stuff in there if you want to check them out. And then I can do other stuff like specifically pertaining to the spiritual awakening. But there's a lot. And what else? Which one was it that I gotta try and find the one that I had put Victor Odo's links in. I can't remember which one that was. I think it was, I want to say it was Revealing Your Truest Self. I'm not sure. Yeah, same for me, Paris. I learn something new almost every day with it. Too much chocolate. I don't think anyone can really have too much chocolate, although my oldest proved me wrong with that when she did one Easter. So that never happened again, needless to say. Yes, they are, but you can actually watch all of them if you feel. Um, I'm trying to think. I want to say, oh God, the Ascension Path one. I want to say reading number two. It's either one or two. Um, talks about like beginning stuff, especially in the beginnings of that. But number three was for people who have been more awake in the Ascension Path one because of the energies from the card. But the entire thing one, two, and three all had to do with Ascension Path stuff. Oh, I got something for you on that one. Um, all right, so sorry, I had to do this. um, for me, when I one sec. There is ways to shield yourself. You just have to do a meditation and set your intentions. And there are some crystals out there that will shield you, like black obsidian, black tourmaline will shield you, and smoky quartz will absorb the energies and take them and transmute them and re, put them back out into positive energy. And it can actually store energy for you with that crystal. It can, but that's more of truth speaking. Any blues are more of truth speaking. Black crystals are more of spiritual protection and shielding. And um they work at reflect like deflecting negative energy away from you. What else? For me in my spiritual process, I got confused at first, but I'm also a Roman Catholic. I went to religious education for 13 years, and now I'm all like, why do I need religion? I still believe in God. I still believe in Jesus. I still believe in angels and all of that. And I believe in all the other religious gods as well because I find them to be all connecting in one. And in the Quran, there is a passage where it says that um, God or Jesus has many faces. So if you put those all together and you think about it, with each and every different religion and all the gods, basically Jesus came through and all those different gods. To me, that's how I see it as a connection, because it's a spiritual leader in each different type of ethnic group, as I see it. And it's kind of like a big oneness thing. Like I have this big oneness feeling, like it's all connected for me. And it's hard to explain, but everything for me is connected full circle. And that's the only way I can explain it. And whenever someone usually tries to impose like religious views and stuff, I kind of really have like it kind of bothers me because I feel like religious stuff like that, like when they make you go to actual religious practices, I feel like it's more of a control and a law thing to keep you kind of in line. Yep. Yes, I'm still alive, Bridget. It might be buffering. I'm not sure. I can't really tell on my end. Um but yeah, I found a lot of religious things to be kind of a oneness thing. Kind of like Christ conscious, that type of thing. And I've had a lot of meditation stuff where I've come to the epiphany of that and kind of got the messages for that. Okay. I'm glad it's not buffering. I do actually get really into Ganesh and Vishnu and Kali. For some reason, I really, really resonate with them. I know it seems strange, but I actually really, really like them, especially Buddha and Kuan Yin. I love their energies because it's very peaceful, very calming, and just it's just really connected. I can't explain it. I really gravitate towards them. It's okay. One pick a card at a time. Whenever you feel drawn to do it, you don't need to overload yourself. I promise you. I've not really gotten into the whole carbon and crystalline thing. It's something I'll actually have to look up. That's kind of like the first I really heard about it. Um, there are a couple people that talk about it like Raw. His name is literally R.A. Raw on this, and I'd have to look up his channel again. But I like watching his videos and his girlfriend's videos. Krista. Can't remember her last name though, but I have them on Facebook as well. Right. So when that happens, nod, smile, and wave, and do what you need to do for yourself to have a peace of mind and go about how you want to practice and believe in your own spirituality. That's kind of how I do it. And I kind of just sit there going, bye. Because I don't believe in what they want to, push on me. I like hearing the stories, don't get me wrong. And some of what I do resonate with some of the things in the Bible because I like some of the words. But I do not live by the Ten Commandments, not particularly, because what are those? Laws. Written by who? Somebody hundreds of years ago. And we have the I guess we have the tablets. But who's to say someone didn't scribble some stuff on a tablet and call it a day? Like, I don't know. I'm not mocking it, but there are a lot of questionable things in my opinion. So I kind of tend to leave religion alone and follow in my own way and kind of research what I want to research and learn about it that way and then practice it my own way. Hold on. I'm like, where? Yeah. It's definitely a challenge. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one. It's a challenge, but it's also a learning curve and a learning process. You can do what I get for you is try candle magic. Not per se like witch candle magic. What I mean by candle magic is white candles and black candles predominantly is what I use. And then I kind of also go based on the colors. Like with pink and red, those are for more love, green is for money, and then I do black for spiritual protection during my readings, and then I can also use my white ones and double that with the intention. And I use the white ones to bring in more love and light and positivity and protection, and it works for me to shield me. So if you want to try that, do that. Also some rose essential oil. I kind of like put a little bit of that on my tea lights, and I also use that in my oil burners because it helps to bring in more loving energies, especially with spirit when you do your readings. I learned that a long time ago though from another reader because I had gotten a personal reading with her, and I've gotten a couple of personal readings, but that I actually paid for, I've only gone through one person, which was Elizabeth Crowley. And I've been watching her for the longest time, but she's got some pretty amazing videos on spiritual protection and what she does in order to help with feeling everything. But I don't know if she still has those videos up because those are years old. She might have taken them down. I don't know. But mostly she does monthly tarot now, and that's it. But every so often she'll like pull out of YouTube because she's gotten too much with energy wise, or too many negative people coming at her. She'll stop everything, and then eventually she'll come back. It can be Tiffany, or yeah, Tiffany. I'm like, am I reading it right? It can be, but um, if you're feeling better about yourself, then you're finally being able to let the toxic emotions go. Basically, I kind of have a lot of trouble with my weight, with other health issues. But in the beginning, I lost quite a bit of weight, but gained it all back. Oh wow, that's not good. Sorry. Um, I was talking to Tiffany really quick. Yeah, I generally like if I don't have a black candle because they're hard to come by sometimes here, I use my white tea lights and I use it with the intention of a black candle, which is always a great backup because whites are universal that way, especially in witchcraft as well. It's all about the intention whenever you're using the candles and what it is that you're using them for. And I usually set the intentions while I'm lighting them. Um, I do want to actually try some Palo Santo for cleansing and whatnot, but I'm not sure how my husband would feel about that because he's not really into the whole incense thing. He hates sage. Some people just don't like the smell of it, that's all. And night, Healing Springs. I'm actually gonna go myself anyways. In a couple minutes, I want to get some dinner. So, anybody else have any more questions for me before I get going? Oh, before I forget, I still gotta do the reading for you guys. But any questions before I start the reading for everybody? It's just gonna be general for everybody in the room, and then whoever watches this video after. I've actually already got a planned deck out when I use my pendulum to figure out which one tonight. um, I will do some another love tarot video, but that'll probably be like later or tomorrow before I do like the live deck tour tomorrow. Um, for live deck tour tomorrow, I'll probably do the same thing 5 o'clock, same time, just to keep it easy. So I'm gonna actually grab what I needed for the general reading. That's perfect. You just got to keep doing it, and if it's still not working, just reinforce it. There, oh gosh, I had it written down like years ago, so I'll have to go back and find. Um, there's another reader that I watch who gave a really good shielding uh incantation type thing, but I don't know if she still has it. and it's Be Divine. I love her readings. Like, I used to watch her all the time. But Be Divine, if you research on her channel, she does have one shielding video on there. I'm not doing personal readings right now. I'm right now actually going to be wrapping up and doing a general reading for everybody. And I'm actually going to do a little bit with the Oracle book as well, because I kind of feel like I haven't used these guys in forever. So I'm going to see what you guys most need to know. Wake my deck up a little bit. I have a habit of knocking on my decks. It's my personal preference. I don't know how you guys do it though. Yeah, no, it's only been about an hour and 15 minutes. I am wearing Moldavite only right now. Oh, wait, no, my bad. I lied. Amber. Amber, Moldavite, diamonds. That's it. Move these because it's not shuffling as good as I want it to. All right. Yeah, it's one of my favorites actually. I love wearing it. For some reason, it's just, I love wearing it. Okay. Follow the golden rule. So with follow the golden rule, that's all about basically how you would want to treat others as how you would want them to treat you, basically. And following your intuition is what I get with that. But it's mostly about treating others how you would want them to treat you, with, you know, respect and whatnot. And if they don't do that in return, kill them with kindness, smile and wave, and do it anyway. Just carry on, you know. That's pretty much all you'll be able to do if they don't want to listen. You know. What else do they need to know? All right, and that's it. All right, that's funny. Kindness counts. What did I just say? Kill them with kindness. And then we have understand your body. So with this, I feel like listening to what your body is telling you that it wants, especially food-wise, and kind of giving yourself exactly what it is that you're craving for. If it's junk food, I would do it in moderation, especially if it's like fast food, that type of thing. I would take it really easy. And then we have worry is a wasted emotion. Don't be so obsessive over certain things. I know certain things can be kind of like jarring as well. Yes, definitely self-care, Dana. Awesome. You share in Paris? Because I want some. 1 second. Life purpose will have to be another video because I'm wrapping this up right now and I'm just like, I would rather give you some research and some solid facts with that. Vegan is absolutely wonderful. Just watch your ratios on your carbs and stuff, because there can be some issues with it if it's done, you know, improperly, from what I've researched, because I've wanted to do that myself because of my pancreatitis, because I'm supposed to go on a plant-based diet, but I kind of didn't really listen. It is what it is. I've tried. I, you know, used to be vegetarian when I was younger. For the most part, I really didn't like meat. I still don't like meat a whole lot, but I'll still eat it. My husband. Although he's watching me right now, which is kind of funny. But anyways, be yourself, which is exactly what I'm doing right now with you guys. Being completely transparent, giving you the raw, uncut version of what I feel is authentically me. And I kind of have a take it or leave it kind of policy. Whether you like me or you don't, it is what it is. If you like me, and I know you guys do because you guys tell me how much you guys love me, which makes me feel absolutely amazing. I seriously really mean that. Yes, honey. Thank you, Dana. Yes, I do eat so I feel good. That I do. Yeah, that. That did not come out right. Oh man. I'm like, okay. See, this is what happens when I'm on the microphone. My face turns like 10 different shades of red. I can't help it. Yeah, I could just hear my husband saying now that word balance. He says balance because I screwed up one time and I said balanced. Okay, okay. I am actually going to flip a page in the Love Oracle book for you guys to see what we most need to know. So when I do this, let me show you how I do this. I take and I feel like right here is where I'm feeling a zingy, a heavy energy. Yes, he really is. His name is Moogle Man 3. He's one of my moderators. So we have you've selected the lapis lazuli. Your answer is a faithful yes. So this is what the book looks like on the inside. So with what you most need to know, whatever your question was that was in your mind while you were what you've been thinking about lately, your answer would be a yes for that. And I'm going to do one more from the partner collection book to that to see what else we might need to know. This one actually has pages that look like they're really old, but they're not. So think of a question while I'm doing this, and that'll be your answer for this reading. Oh my, come on. Okay, this is what we have. We have the dice caution you to put aside selfish thoughts and ask again. Really? So we will do one more page, and then hopefully that should give us some expansion. Okay, and then we have Mercury. A vows or wish will be granted after a reversal. So some good fortune is headed your way. You just got to work on some things to turn things around first and most. And then whatever you want shall be yours. And that's what I get. So that is it for my time tonight, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I love doing this with you. So I will definitely make this a weekend thing. And tomorrow we will be back at 5 o'clock at the same exact time to do a room tour for all of my decks. So if you want to join me, please feel free.